this showed up. UPS dropped this off, and I do mean dropped it off. I did disassemble part of it just to make sure what I ordered was actually in here. But this is not an exaggeration as to how bad it looked. The tape was still holding it together though. So the unboxing today is going to be a little bit different. There was water damage on the top. You can see where it soaked through the top of the box and down onto the pump. So we're going to see how much water damage there was as well. There's actually water in the bag with all of the parts. If you can see all those water droplets. Yeah, kind of a disappointment to open this up. I'll have the videos of what it actually looked like on the front door. I won't put the video of the guy dropping it off up because it's not good with my package, and I don't want to put his face out there. So there it is. This is the GX E5K1 for single cylinder. We have done the 2 on this channel before. So this one is just a little bit smaller, as I recall, and it just has 1 piston instead of 2. So looking through, there's a lot of stuff that's wet in here. Looking through here, you do have your hose to fill it up. You've got your tool with all the different wrenches on there. Allen wrench. I'm assuming this looks like for an angle grinder, but I'm assuming it fits something on the inside here. We'll break it all down. Look, here's the power cable. A couple more wrenches. They're kind of just scattered around in the box because of how it came. I did reach out to the manufacturer just to see, just to let them know how it showed up. I haven't heard back yet, but we'll see if they have anything to say. Oh yeah, look, the bag itself was ripped open. It looks like that's where the water got in. And I think I'm missing a bunch of parts too. They were probably all in here. There's water everywhere. You can see it all over my hand. O-rings, springs, this. There's loose screws in the bottom of the box as well. That's what we got. There's a screwdriver. Alright, I don't think there's anything else in the box here. We're going to get that out of the way. Alright. Now, because it arrived wet, I'm going to do a breakdown of it before I actually plug it in. I don't want to electrocute myself. I want to make sure everything's dry on the inside. But we're going to do a quick rundown here of everything that we've got. This is very similar to the 2-piston version. So you can see you've got your on, your off switch right there. I like the click. You've got your output, you have your bleed valve. You do have a meter hour, which is really nice. Not a lot of machines have those, so that's very much appreciated. You have your surge protector. That's especially handy knowing that this got wet. Your power supply, and then where your water's going to bleed out. Up here on the top, also, if you haven't noticed, it has wheels, which is very much needed for a pump of this size. You have your water tank here. Well, they say to put antifreeze in it. There's antifreeze in it already. There's something in it. It's orange. That might actually be rust. That would explain the water. I don't smell anything, but it might not be water that's in here. Oh boy. The grease pot is also loose. Okay, it does at least have grease in it, but that was definitely loose. Boy. Lid on this. All right, we're gonna take this apart and see what we've got. Switch up my bit quick. So I'm honestly kind of surprised at what I'm seeing. I bought a lot of pumps from GX. In fact, I think I've used almost every single pump that they made. I'm trying to think if there's one that I haven't. I think I've looked at almost all of them and used almost all of them. I've never had an issue like this before. I've never had one that arrived used. I don't think I've even had one that arrived with the packaging beat up. You know, like there's occasional like scuffs on a box or whatever. But I've never had this. So I'm pretty surprised at what's going on. I'm hoping that they respond to me and make this right. Whatever that is in their book. I mean, it obviously is a used unit. When this was advertised as new, there was also a delay in getting it delivered to me. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Yeah, there is water in the cooling system already, and these are normally shipped empty, and they recommend not putting water in them. They recommend putting coolant in them. So that's also exciting. You know, I was going to do a full review of this. I think this video might just be kind of documenting the issue that I've had, both for you guys out in the community just to watch out for, as well as to show to the company and see what their response is. Because I don't think this is how they normally operate. It's not how they've operated with me in the past. I've had good experiences with GX. They are occasionally a little slow to respond, but you know, they are also on the other side of the world and time zones and language barriers and all that. But in general, I've had good experiences with them. So I just looked at the meter hour, as it says, the hour meter, and it has been used. Let me bring you guys in closer so you can actually see. So if you look, we are going on 15 hours. Sorry, I don't know how well you can see that. Yeah, there we go, 1-4. So this has been used quite a bit. That explains what's going on. Stepping on the packaging there. But let's give it a once over here. I'm gonna plug it in. I'm gonna look at the electrical connections first. I recommend doing this anytime you get a new pump. Personally, just take the cover off. Make sure you actually know what's going on inside. Look at the connections. I want to make sure there's no liquid on any of them here. Grab my flashlight. Yeah, I want to make sure there's no liquid on any of the connection ports. That water is yellow in the container here, which means it has started to rust and is spreading rust. So that's a good excuse me, that's a good explanation of why you want to use coolant. Okay, I don't see any loose connections. I don't see any water on the connections. I do see water on the radiator and all the other parts over here, but not there. So I'm gonna go get a cable and we'll plug it in. Power supply. Okay. Okay. So the fluid is moving through the system. You can see the fan's kind of moving slower than the little impeller, I don't know what it's called. That is actually moving slower than it did on the EK5. I don't know if there's an issue with it. But the water is now flowing, which is good. I'm going to go ahead, open the bleed valve, attach my hose, and see if we can build up some pressure in it. Okay, we've got that in. Our bleed valve is open. Our pressure is set to, dang, really high. Whoever used this before was probably overfilling their gun. We're going to set it to 300 bar. Okay, we do have pressure coming out of the bleed valve. Let me go ahead and close it. Okay, we are building pressure, so that's a good sign that it's running. I've never seen that before. Okay, so it stopped pumping for a second and then started pumping quickly. That makes me really nervous. I can hear something going on here. Ouch. There's a sharp edge over here. Yeah. I've never had this experience before with any pump, especially a GX. I've had other pumps arrive damaged. I've never had a GX arrive damaged, but never one at this level where it was clearly used before, where it started running so quickly like that. I'm not sure what that was. But anyway, I think I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to post it so that, one, you guys as the community can see it, too. I can reference the company to it just to get their thoughts and try to get a response from them. If I hear back from them, which I expect to, I will update you guys. I will put a pinned comment down below, as well as post a new video with their response and what ends up happening. And maybe we'll test this with the cover on and me out of the room and see what happens if I keep it running. It was just making me nervous the way it was speeding up like that. But there we go. Stay tuned for what happens here.